Beginning. The enemy in the Forest of Karthos. The skies above Karthos burned crimson, a dying planet's last sunset. For centuries, the world of the Valari, a proud alien race of silver-skinned warriors, had stood untouched by humanity. That changed when the warships came. Metallic titans hovered above their cities, unleashing fire that turned their crystal towers into molten rivers. Humanity had come not to conquer but to survive. Their own planet Earth was collapsing under ecological ruin, and the Valari's world was the only habitable system nearby. The Valari fought back, believing the humans were parasites. To them, humans were the monsters of the void, creatures who consumed everything they touched. And for Lysera, daughter of the Valari chieftain of Karthos, those stories were gospel. She had watched her people fall one by one, her mother taken by human soldiers, her home scorched by plasma. Her hatred ran deep enough to pierce the stars. So when the human dropship went down in flames over the northern ridge, she stalked the wreckage with her spear drawn, ready to kill. The wreck was a twisted mass of steel and smoke. Inside she found only one survivor, a man bloodied and half-buried under the remains of his ship. His armor was cracked, the insignia of the United Earth Fleet half melted off. The word Raen was stenciled on his chest plate. He groaned as she approached, one eye opening through the grime. "If you're going to kill me," he rasped, "make it quick." Lysera hesitated. His voice wasn't what she expected. Calm, tired, human in a way that wasn't cruel. Still, she pressed the tip of her spear against his throat. "You're one of them," she hissed. "You came here to burn us." "Maybe," he said. "But the ones who sent me here, they burned us too." She frowned. His words didn't make sense. Humans and sympathy were oil and flame. Yet there he was, broken, bleeding, and still refusing to look afraid. The night was falling fast, and the forest beasts of Karthos were already stirring. She could leave him to die. She should have. But something, maybe pity, maybe curiosity, made her drag his limp body away from the wreck and into a hollow cave nearby. When he awoke hours later, he found his wounds wrapped with luminous vines, Valari medicine. She sat across from him, eyes glowing faintly in the dark, her weapon resting against the wall. "Why help me?" he asked quietly. Lysera didn't answer at first. "Because I want to know why you smile when facing death." Raen exhaled, the faintest ghost of a grin on his lips. "Because I stopped fearing it a long time ago." And in that silence, something fragile began to shift. The forest, the hunt, and the truth. The next days were uneasy. Raen was too weak to move far. His leg shattered and ribs fractured. Lysera hunted for food and purified water with shards of her spear. She avoided talking. Every word with him felt like treason against her people. Yet each night, as the alien moonlight filtered through the cave, she found herself studying the human's strange quietness. He didn't curse her kind. He didn't beg for mercy. Instead, he asked questions about the stars she'd seen, the legends of her ancestors, the way Valari used crystal frequencies to heal wounds. When she finally asked about his world, he looked down. "Earth was dying," he said softly. "We poisoned it ourselves. When we found your system, our leaders said we'd negotiate. But war was cheaper. They sent us here to fight for survival, not conquest. At least that's what they told us." Lysera's voice was sharp. "And you believed them?" He looked at her, pain flickering behind his eyes. "I wanted to believe there was something left worth fighting for." That night, a storm raged across Karthos, lightning dancing over the shattered peaks. Raen lay awake, his breath labored, as Lysera sat near the entrance of the cave, watching. When he shivered in his sleep, she hesitated, then tore part of her cloak and laid it over him. Her people would have called it weakness, but to her, it felt like remembering something forgotten. Compassion. The next morning the forest screamed. A Valari hunting party had found the humans' crash site. Their scouts were near. Lysera knew what they'd do if they found Raen. String him up, drain him for information, and leave his body as bait for beasts. "Can you walk?" she asked urgently. Raen grimaced. "Not fast." "Then we run slow," she said, hauling him up. His arm wrapped around her shoulder as they moved through the underbrush. His weight heavy but steady. The forest floor pulsed faintly with bioluminescent moss, the living veins of Karthos. They didn't get far before they heard the shriek of plasma rifles. Blue light scorched the trees beside them. "Lysera of Karthos," a voice called out. "Drop the human. He's the reason our rivers burn." Lysera froze. That voice. It was her cousin, Taran, the new commander of their surviving militia. "Leave him," Taran shouted. "You've done your duty. Come home." But when she looked at Raen, trembling, barely standing, something inside her broke. All her life, she'd been told humans were monsters, incapable of kindness, undeserving of mercy. But the man leaning on her shoulder wasn't a monster. He was what her people had forgotten how to be. Human in the truest sense. She faced the tree lean. "He's under my protection," she called back. "You'd betray your blood for a beast." Taran's voice roared with disbelief. Lysera's hand tightened around her spear. "He's not the beast here." A silence followed. Then the forest erupted with plasma fire. Lysera dove behind a fallen tree, returning fire with crystalline darts that hissed through the air. Raen, despite his pain, grabbed her fallen pack and threw a smoke beacon to blind the pursuers. They fled deeper, stumbling through vines and ash until the forest swallowed the light behind them. When they finally collapsed beside a stream hours later, Raen laughed weakly. "Guess I owe you one." Lysera turned to him, breath heavy. "You owe me nothing. I chose this." "Why?" he asked. "Why risk your life for me?" She didn't answer, but her trembling hands told the truth. She didn't fully understand it herself. Revelation, the heart of Karthos. They found refuge in an ancient Valari ruin, an obsidian structure buried beneath the jungle canopy, humming with dormant power. Lysera recognized it instantly. The Vault of Nithra, a relic of her ancestors said to hold the memory of stars. Raen leaned against a pillar as she activated the runes. The walls flared to life, projecting images, not of war but of connection. Valari and humans standing together centuries ago. Raen stared in awe. "That's impossible." Lysera's voice trembled. "It means we met before, long before the war." The holographic memory revealed the truth. Humans had once been allies of the Valari during an ancient era of galactic unity. But when the cosmic storms fractured wormholes and cut off systems, both races forgot their shared history. Centuries passed. Myths turned to fear. Fear turned to war. "They called it the Great Severance," Lysera whispered. "We forgot each other." Raen stepped closer, his expression soft. "Maybe this time we remember." The ruin suddenly trembled. Outside, the forest roared with the sound of approaching engines, human drones scanning for survivors. A metallic voice echoed through the trees. "Survivor unit detected. Prepare for retrieval." Raen looked torn. "If they find you with me, they'll kill you."